just quiet a second.
Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It's a regular February Tullahoma Utilities Authority Board meeting, February 17th, 2025. First thing on the agenda is to approve the agenda.
Make a motion that we approve today's agenda.
So moved.
A proper motion and second. Anybody have any discussion about the agenda? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Seeing none, that passes unanimously. Our next item on the agenda is approve the previous meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Proper motion and second. Anybody have any thing to say about the last meeting minutes, or everybody's happy with that? Seeing none, all approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Seeing none, that passes unanimously. Have any customer comments on the agenda items? Seeing none, we're going to go ahead and push on. We have some recognition. We got a couple of letters from people that we supported through the TUA Roundup program. We got a thank you note from Tullahoma Daycare. They said, thank you so much for your continued support. We are so grateful for all you do. Emma Coleman and staff. And then the next letter is
Senior citizens.
from Coffee County Senior Citizens. We want to thank you so much for the Roundup program donation. Our center is so appreciative, and this donation is so needed. Thank you for your consideration in awarding the Coffee County Senior Citizen this donation. So much appreciated. Vicki Former, Director of Coffee County Senior Citizens. So, I think this is a big program that we sponsor, and we help out people in this community. We'll push right on into specific agenda items. First up, we have consider approval of ground maintenance contract. We'll get a motion on this in a second, and we'll discuss.
So, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve awarding Marcel Lon and, excuse me, let me back up here. I recommend that we award the grounds and maintenance contract to Morgan's Lawn and Landscaping for a total not to exceed $33,999.50.
Second, I'll second it.
Okay. Proper motion in a second. I'll ask the President to comment on this.
Yeah, so Morgan's has been our contractor for the past 3 years. The policy allows us to renew it twice after awarding the bid. They were not the lowest. There was a difference of $5,395, which is 17%. But the other bidder did not have all the permits and licensing required for spraying. In the past, we allowed once to give someone time to get their permits, and that didn't work out. So I'm recommending that even though there's that 17% difference, that we approve Morgan to continue doing the quality work that they've been doing.
Patty?
Who are the permits through?
The state of Tennessee.
I think they have to permit to spray the chemical permits.
And I think it's important to follow those regulations.
Yeah.
They're there for reasons, safety reasons, and yeah, so if they don't have the permits, then I'm for this.
Any other discussion? All in favor of approving the ground maintenance contract, say aye.
Aye.
Opposition? Seeing none, that passes unanimously. Also, next item is consider approval of a herbicide application contract. Can I get a motion on that? Second.
I so move that we recommend that Volunteer Vegetation Management, our contractor since 2018, has proposed the same rates, $295 per mile, $162 per acre. Given their satisfactory performance and consistent pricing, I recommend the board approve the contract.
A second.
Got a proper motion and a second. Adam, can you tell us about it?
Yes, sir. So not to be confused with the herbicide we just discussed, This herbicide is for larger areas such as our substations and right-of-ways that our right-of-way contractor clears. Volunteers done great work for us in the past, and they do not have a minimum acre or mile requirement. So I recommend approving.
Any other discussion?
Just a question. So, not having a minimum mile or acre requirement, why is that so important?
Because the ones that have a minimum, we would have to pay them a minimum of X amount of dollars. Whereas if we don't need volunteer,
Gotcha.
that there's no minimum amount we have to pay them. Yeah.
And also,
Good.
go ahead, Mike.
The herbicide, that's to kill vegetation
And prevent.
and prevent. Okay, so it's, okay, I got you. Must be pretty expensive. I mean, it's pretty extensive.
It is. And yeah, through all three of our substations, inside, it's gravelled. And then, like I said, where the right-of-way contractors go out and trim small trees, they'll brush cut it, and then there'll be the herbicide come in behind them to keep it from growing back.
Good.
We want to keep the vegetation around the substations specifically because you want to keep the critters out. I guess.
That's right.
You don't want to give them a place to hang out. Also, we would note that there were quite a few bidders on there,
Yeah,
so.
which is good.
Yeah. All right, we got a proper motion and a second. All in favor of this, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Seeing none, that passes unanimously. We'll step right into committee reports. Policy Committee, have anything to report?
Nope.
Policy Committee has nothing to report. They would need Rate Committee. Anything from the Rate Committee?
No, sir.
Nothing on the Rate Committee. I'm sure we'll have something in the future. We'll go into departmental reports. Alan?
All right, so I will be brief today. A couple things. We're getting ready for spring sports and wrapping up winter sports. Chris has done a great job pulling together a basketball broadcasting team, and we've seen some really great responses from those guys. So looking to wrap that up and then looking ahead to baseball and softball. The Tennessee Connections magazine that we rolled out this last year, the next issue is going to be mailed to customers on March 5th, and Kelly's done a really great job at preparing another great issue of that, which will be focused on the administration department. So again, we're kind of trying to focus on a different department for each one of those issues. And then I know there was a couple questions at the last meeting about the commercial, so I did pull just one more stat that I think kind of speaks to the overall success of it. But the impressions that we've had on that commercial, we've almost hit 50,000 on connected TV and streaming services, and then 9,000 across our social media platforms. So that's getting a lot of traction. And again, that viewer completion rate stays at around 94, 95 now that we've been 2 months into having that out there. So still fantastic that 94% of people are watching that all the way through. That was all I had for today.
You did. Thank you.
Thank you.
You did mention that you received an award from the chamber.
I was going to say that in our report. That's exactly right.
Is that a rising star?
A rising star.
She's with TUA.
Already risen star.
Yes, really.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I had a lovely time with everyone and celebrating all the award winners. It was a great
Great.
time.
Good morning.
Morning.
Catch you all up on our goings-on in the field. The electric department, we've completed in the Pines the equipment and the fiber and electrical equipment installation. So as soon as they kind of get in there and start paving, we'll be able to do conductor pulls and cable pulls on the fiber side. Stillwater Phase 2, the equipment is installed and the conductors are installed. We will be following up with the fiber installation, so Stillwater Phase 2 is ready to go. For the month of January, the electric department did install or change out 13 services, and we've also connected 6 new temporaries. So it's good on the growth. And on our AMI project, we do have a fully functional billing export file, and it has been tested within our billing system. So we will be continuing at the end of this month or the 1st of March with our meter change out project. Moving on to fiber, Light tube was a plus 33 for January, so it was a fantastic month. Our CGNAT migration has been completed, so the entire, what customers were moving to the CGNAT solution, it has been done. Designs are complete for both LCP 2 Plus, which is going to be a new cabinet on Short Springs for Sagewood, and then West Lincoln near Linda Lane, which is 51, for some future growth out there. So our designs are ready to go on that and be followed up by construction. We still are evaluating our next generation Calyx gear, and it will be going from, we'll still be running dual systems, but it is, we're on a GPON system to an XGS, so it's a 2.5 gig system to a 10 gig system. So that will be in the works for next budget year. And I guess lastly, Derek Harris did complete his second certification on traffic signal schooling down in Huntsville for Decatur.
Pretty good. Question.
Yes, sir.
We had a, I guess, Wi-Fi outage, was it Friday? So what was...
It was not a Wi-Fi outage.
It was not.
I do not have, they call it an RCA, a root cause analysis.
Okay.
This was with our vendor,
Okay.
our access vendor.
Okay.
It was a bug in the system.
Okay.
So I'm be waiting on them to comb the logs and let us know the reason for that.
Okay.
It did last
Quite a while.
little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
It did only affect about 25% of our system. The way we have things broken out, we call them stacks, but it only affected one stack.
Okay.
So roughly 1,100 customers.
Be interested in hearing what, what they found, and, if they did a root cause analysis, what preventive actions they have for that.
I'm not going to speculate, but I believe it's going to be a software bug
Okay.
in their system, and it will be, once they determine what it is, applying a patch.
Right. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good
Usually it's a good evening, but it's a nice Monday morning. It's a good start to the week. Give you an update on the administration department. We're working on closing our financials for January. You can see we have December's financials in the board packet. The AMI project, as Brian mentioned, we are moving along with it. Today will be the first billing request file that we actually submit to Census to pull our data in. Full reading. So we're looking forward to trying that today. We've tested it multiple times and we feel like it's ready. This is just more of a confirmation. NISC, we're preparing for that. We've set our user access up. We've started our training. A couple days a week, everybody's doing training at a separate location from their desk to try to make sure that they stay focused. Title VI training, we've almost, probably 95% of us have went through that training, and we're hoping we'll be at 100% by the end of this week. Our connections mailing, as Emma mentioned, we prepared that list. It is in their hands. We're ready to send that letter out. And then it is budget time. So we are starting our preparation for budget. Any questions?
Very good.
Joe Ellis.
Good morning. We were talking about the rainfall earlier. We had a little over 4 inches of rain last week through Saturday night. Most of that came Tuesday and Wednesday. That was over 3 inches, and had a few issues in the wastewater collection system and the treatment plant. But we did well. Conditions are improving. Hope to be back to normal in a couple of days. Next item I have, we had 2 TDEC personnel here 2 weeks ago today to conduct an inspection of our water system. This inspection is called a sanitary survey, and it's done every 2 years. We didn't know they were going to be here till that morning. So wasn't a very good way to start the day or the week, but we did well, and we get a numerical score and expect to get a good score. Give you an update on our infrastructure grant project and wastewater system. We've had water meters, flow meters installed in the collection system for quite a while now. And we had a company here last Monday started recording of the sewer lines to find problems. And then the rain started, so they worked one day and had to leave, but they'll be back soon. And finally, we had 3 wastewater crew members attend a water distribution class, week-long water distribution class in Murfreesboro in anticipation of them taking his certification exam this spring. Their names are Chris Truehoff, Dr. Ryder, and Justin Metcalf. And it shows a lot of initiatives these guys doing this, because these exams are tough and they have to study for them, for weeks. And we appreciate the work that they put in, and we expect them to do well. That's all I have.
Thank you. All right, we're going to push right on into board member comments, and we'll start with Mr. Stanton.
Thank you, Chairman.
You're welcome.
By the way, congratulations to Dale Willis, who's our
Thank you.
new
Yes,
Vice
sir.
President of Water and Wastewater. Yes,
Thank you very much.
glad you had that opportunity. I was thinking about our people the other night when the wind was whirling and whistling at 12:30 in the morning. Thinking, well, I guess they're heading out. And, just thinking, I just can't imagine what that'd be like to get out of that stuff. And the rain was going this way and coming down really hard. And so compliments to our guys and gals who brave the adverse conditions. Congratulations to the THS boys basketball team, district champions.
Yes, sir.
District champions. Attended the legislative conference in Nashville this past week. Met with Senator Boley and State Representatives Bricken, Marsh, and Rudder. We brought utility issues were brought to their attention. We're glad for the opportunity to speak to them, and they were very responsive to the meetings. And, plus 33 for January, that's tremendous. Usually January is just a little bit quieter, but apparently Light Tube is rolling on big time, so that's all I've got, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Stanton. Mr. Northcutt.
I'd like to follow Mr. Stanton's congratulations to Mr. Willis. Again, thank you. And also, again, to Ms. Cook. Great job. Also like to, seems that every meeting we're talking about some of our employees, continuing their education, completing training, getting certified. And once again, I want to thank these employees. I want to thank the organization, again, for being the type of organization it is that really supports these employees. And because we only get better when our employees have an opportunity to learn more and get better. So I think that's big. Enjoyed I think all of us here at the table went to the chamber banquet. It's very important for this organization to support the chamber. The Tullahoma Chamber is an amazing group. For a small town, it's a very active group. They're very customer focused, meaning the businesses that come here. And so I really enjoyed that. And last, President Potter and I will be going to the legislative rally next week in DC, and I will have a committee meeting of policy, American Public Power Policy Committee meeting prior to that. Looking forward to that, and we'll do what our group did here. It will be at we'll meet with our senators and representatives in DC and talk about the issues that concern public power and the legislative matters that are on tap to either support those type of things or are concerns. So we look forward to that, and that's all I have.
Thank you, JT. Ms. Patty.
I want to mirror those thoughts. So congratulations to Emma, and the chamber banquet. It was really amazing to see how many people are involved in businesses around Tullahoma, and just the excitement of all of those people that were receiving awards, and it's really neat that we're a part of that really energetic community. It was nice to go up to Nashville for the legislative rally and meet with our legislators, and I wish you good, safe travels.
Thank you.
You and Alan, safe travels up to DC, and look forward to a report about that meeting. And so I guess one thing coming up, since TUA owns a lot of property out at Short Springs, there is a cleanup that the Friends of Short Springs is hosting on March 8th from 8 to 11. So if you know anybody or that wants to come and do some work out there, maintenance and so on the trails, and also some trash cleanup, that'll be happening, and there's information on the Friends of Short Springs Facebook page, and there should be information coming out. It's posted out at Short Springs as well, but we really appreciate the upcoming new parking that TUA is facilitating out there. So that's all I've got.
Thank you, Ms. Patty. I don't have anything much to add to what my other board members have said. Kudos to Emmondale. Also attended the chamber fundraiser the other night, and also went to the legislative meeting and met with our representatives. Always good to attend both of those things. I'd like to thank our crews that went out the other night in the bad weather to keep the lights on. Here in Tullahoma, it was a yucky night, but I don't think we had any substantial damage or anything. Outages were not too bad. Safe travels to JT and our president as they travel to Washington next week to represent us to our federal officials. So, and that's all I have. Do we have any customer comments that come in, or you have anything? I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Potter. Tell us all about it.
So it's been discussed several times, but our plus 33 Light Tube customers, Shannon put a chart together, and since January of 22, it's the third largest month we've had. Our largest month was 46, but we had some help in that Charter had a large outage, and we worked overtime and on the weekends to take their customers. But the month of January was different. We put an emphasis on really marketing Light Tube, and that's the customer service team up front, and Shannon as well. So Vicki Autumn, Debbie, Brittany, and Carolina have really stepped it up in January and seem to be extra motivated to sign up Light Tube customers, so I'm happy about that. And then very fitting Monday morning meeting for the weekend we just had. I feel like our customers electrically and fiber were beat up a little bit since Friday, the 1,100 customers out, and then over the weekend the high winds and the rain. And it was all of our outside crews, not just the electric. They get most of the glory on things like that, but our water and wastewater crews were in and out all weekend. The water and wastewater treatment plant team has been working diligently since early last week because of the rainfall. So just very appreciative of all their hard work. The chamber was brought up. What I appreciate about the chamber is all the businesses they bring together. That I don't know otherwise if that would happen, but they get them collectively in a room and working together for the better of the community. So we're excited to support and be involved in our chamber. And then lastly, AMI, just to sum up where we stand on that, is we installed 125 test meters in Emerald Meadows because we didn't want to install 11,000 meters and realize we have a problem. So we did 125, we tested it. I think we feel good about where we're at. And then you'll start seeing really significant progress, a couple thousand meters at a time. And as we get the meters in. That'll be the handicap of that is the supply chain. So, other than that, I don't think I have anything.
Thank you.
I've noticed a real large increase in Facebook posts from
Yeah.
TUA.
Yeah. That's Miss Emma.
It's really, that must have a large to do with why we get so many people to join in January.
I'd like to thank everybody for getting up this morning and coming to an early meeting, and Shannon for providing us something to eat, and to remind us that we were supposed to be here early. Some of us remember better than others, so thank you very much. Seeing nothing else to come before the board, I call this meeting adjourned.